Hey everyone, welcome back to a new video. I hope you had a great day. Let's take a look at some new malicious compliance stories, where people conform to the letter but not the spirit of a request. Thank you for subscribing to the channel and for hitting the like button. Today we have 4 great stories. If you enjoy them and haven't already, why don't you make this the video that you subscribe to the channel? And with that out of the way, let's begin, shall we? The first story is called I Want That Laptop. This happened a few years ago, before I retired. I was IT tech support for a medium-sized company with about 500 employees and a full management structure with departments and a board of directors. We had a new director start in the PR department. Let's call her Karen. It's company policy for directors to be issued with a laptop computer. We use quite a lot of bespoke software in our company, so we had done a lot of research into the best laptops to get, not the cheapest by any means. We had pre-purchased one and set it up for her with all the necessary stuff loaded on, so she was all set to go. I was unfortunately the guy who took it up to her office on her first day. I took it into her office, all smiles, and "Good morning, welcome to the company, here's your laptop." She took one look at it and said, "I don't want that pile of crap. I only use this other brand of laptop." I was somewhat taken aback, but not being a very confrontational person, I just said okay, turned tail and made a hasty exit. By the time I got back into the IT office, she had already been on the phone to the IT director, who had been on the phone to my boss. My boss basically said to get her what she wants. She had specified the exact make and model of laptop, so we ordered it. It turned up a couple of days later and we configured it and I dropped it up to her to a about time or similar comment. Within days she was on the phone to help desk complaining it was slow, kept crashing, etc. We did the best we could, but this was exactly why we used the other brand of laptop. Eventually she got fed up and called the IT director to complain that we were all incompetent. He told her in no uncertain terms that the problem was her and her insistence in overriding the IT department's decision. She then asked for one of our regular laptops, and he told her the one we had got for her had been allocated to somebody else and it would be a minimum 6-week wait for a new one. After the 6 weeks were up, I brought her the exact same laptop that I had taken before and had been sitting on the shelf in our storeroom all that time. After that, we hardly heard a peep from her. The next story is called Fashionable. I worked as bar front desk at a northern Michigan resort and spa while I was in high school back in the early 2000s. All of the other front desk staff were very attractive women in their 20s to 30s. We got along quite well, despite the age difference, because I was willing to take care of undesirable tasks while they gossiped at the desk. I was a fairly attractive teenager that was sometimes plagued with hormonal acne. The wonderful estheticians that I worked with provided many treatments to try and clear it up, but teenage hormones can overpower almost everything sometimes. One time there was a particularly bad breakout where they recommended that I kept my face clean and didn't mess with it. We had a new manager that saw me the next morning and demanded that I cover my face in makeup to align with the polished high quality clientele that we catered to. My hair, nails and attire were all very professional. And I tried to explain that one of the estheticians recommended that I didn't put anything extra on my face to further exaggerate the breakout. The manager refused to listen and insisted that I looked as good as one of the models in the magazines available for guests while they were rating. Cue malicious compliance. I went over to the makeup application area and placed some neon pink eyeshadow in a rectangle from ear to ear across my eyes and nose. I was matching a model from the most recent Vogue publication from our rating area. I walked up to the manager and said, "I now match the fashion magazines as you have requested." 2 of the other front desk girls started gushing about how stylish I was. They were being supportive because they knew about my acne struggles and they also were not a big fan of the new manager. The manager was clearly annoyed but couldn't do anything because I did exactly what she said to do. She mumbled fine and went back into the office area, slamming the door. I think that was the last and only time anyone has ever called me fashionable. The third story is called He Took It Without Asking. My new wife and I recently took a trip to Denver on a United flight. I fly often, but not as often as some other people. When I booked the flight, the plane was fairly empty, so I booked the window and aisle seats in the premium economy section right behind first class seats, leaving the middle seat empty. By the time we actually flew, the flight was nearly full, so I checked the seat chart and noticed someone took the seat between us. No biggie, when we get on the flight we will just offer the window or aisle seat to whoever booked the middle seat. Boarding time came and we were in group 2, so the pre-boards in group 1 got to go before us. When it was our turn to board and we got to our seats, there was an older man sitting in the window seat. I thought that was kind of a bad move to just take someone else's seat without asking. Obviously, this guy has flown before, since he had pre-boarding status without having young kids, was not disabled and definitely wasn't in the military. I let it go, since we were going to switch seats anyway. Soon after the flight took off, the attendant came up to me with a gift bag and congratulated me for achieving 1K status. The gift bag wasn't for me, it was for the guy that took the window seat without asking. He obviously knew what he was doing and has probably done this before. The guy was looking out the window all through boarding and never turned his head to acknowledge us until the flight attendant came over with the gift bag. I accepted his gift bag and the flight attendant asked if I'd like a complimentary drink as well. Of course, I said yes and even got a free glass of wine for my wife too. I glanced at the guy and could see the anger in his eyes, but he didn't say a thing. Had he went for me over this guy that took my seat that I would have given him, but instead he took it without asking. The last story is called You Want Me to Waste Money? A number of years ago, I worked for a recruiting company that serviced a major automotive plant in the US. This was the first of its kind built in the US and had just recently opened. Now, typically for my company, a business manager or owner or administrator would give us hiring orders for new employees. Usually it's someone in charge who decides to hire new people. With this company, the administration handed the hiring decision to the new hire trainers, then those trainers would give us the order. I loved these trainers. They were deeply religious, family-oriented guys. Both of them adopted children from rough homes while I knew them. Both were extremely kind and welcoming to my new hires I was sending in, which can be rare in an automotive plant. They'd go on missions with their church to help in struggling areas. While I am not religious at all myself, I loved how passionate these guys were and how it reflected in working alongside them. The plant lowered production and our orders for new hires slowed. My manager started getting on me. Hey, go ask Bill and Ted if there are any new hires they need. Take them to dinner and see if you can talk them into more employees. I explained repeatedly to my boss that Bill and Ted do not make hiring decisions. Those decisions come way over their head and they just relay it. I was told I am new to this business and don't understand how networking works. Finally, my boss's boss got on me when he was in the region for a meeting. I needed to push these guys to make new orders. So I checked my limits for how much I could spend schmoozing clients. And then I took these guys all around town for months. A new steakhouse opened. You guys want to try? Bring your wives and let's go. Do you guys want to hit the billiards club for lunch? The whole ticket is on me. Office wants breakfast burritos and coffee delivered? Send your orders in and I'll bring it on my way. At some point I figured there would be some backlash over the money I was spending. I even found the max I was allowed to tip and was maxing it out every time to give out more money to the waitresses. I was wrong. The plant cycled up again and I think my managers believed those new orders came from the money I was spending and not just typical ebbs and flows of auto manufacturing. Eventually I left the industry and these guys moved on to other jobs. We had a blast on the company dime while it lasted. And now it's your time to shine. Let me know what you think about the stories. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate the stories? I hope you enjoyed today's video. And I hope you have a great day. Stay safe. Bye bye.